Hi, my name is Xiaotong Xiao, and here's my media influence project in audio-visual format. The title of my proposed research is The Representation of Media, Black Australian. It will cover the representation of the mainstream media of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. My research will focus on the topic of representation of media, and this project will emphasize on how the media deal with certain issues like ethnicity or social media. Within the research, the main subject of media representation is the Black Australians. Therefore, to sum up, the research question for the study is, did media really develop a positive space of Black Australians? It will mainly cover the coverage of Black Australians by Australian mainstream media sources, and the rationale of implementing the research is to determine if Black Australians live free and secure as everyone else and protected from discrimination on social media and in society. After introducing the overview of the project, let's jump into the final summary for my findings of various academic resources. The supportive theory to the research topic is known as framing theory. According to Tesbury Sheffield in 2019, framing theory is based on showing how the media package and present information to the public. It expands the frames that are used to present communities and make sense of news information and events. The theory is expressing the idea of the danger of a single story. It's dangerous to only focus on the one side of the story, as it results in stereotypes against certain communities. The idea of a single story concept is more evident in the case of Black Africa, where a single rhetoric of adjectivification. The same challenge exists among Black Australians. In addition, the methodology selected in the research is called content analysis. The definition of content analysis is to involve research and communication patterns in different medias. As a result of using content analysis, how to establish the major themes associated with the concept of Black Australians. The rationale for using content analysis is that we will also help in analyzing the existing media resources and helps in minimizing research bias. In relations, all data and information for this project was collected through content analysis method. The first step was filtering the selection of data which needs to be analyzed. It was done through collection of information that was related to research question. Most of the content that was involved in the research is other studies that have been done on the research topic. The articles that were involved peer review and news articles. The criterion was that they have to cover issues involving the representation of Black Australians in the media, and the random sampling involving numerous articles and media pieces on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The second step was collection of the defining the units and categories, which means it involved categorizing the articles based on their content. After the process of data collection, now moved into the discourse analysis. The data was analyzed through the development of categories for different data content pieces that are selected. The data was codified for the research. The finding was assessed for reliability and then recorded in the report. The finding was presented as themes there were 4 themes, and which emerged from the research. These are discrimination on social media, underrepresentation on mainstream media, creation of supportive online environments, and involvement in storytelling on the mainstream media sources on the treatment of Black Australians. The discrimination on social media theme presented the frustration of most Black Australians with their treatment on social media, where most felt they were often attacked. On the theme of underrepresentation of mainstream media, it was discovered that Black Australians were underrepresented in the news stories, and the story were given in a perception on other white Australians. The themes of creation of supportive online environments show that Black Australians were creating communities online to support each other on issues like health. The final theme was on involvement of the Black Australians in storytelling on the mainstream media resources, where they were used as a solution to improve their sources. To sum up for this media influence project, it can be made on the research out there is underrepresentation of Black Australians in mainstream media sources, which has led to the perpetuation of the same colonial mentality towards the native. The mentality perpetuates the discrimination of Black Australians on social media. In response to discrimination on social media has resulted in the creation of support groups on social media to tackle some of the issues affecting them, like poor health. The media too has been making attempts to resolve this problem by involving them in creation of their stories on the media. Lastly, the main ethical consideration in the research project is the recognition of the resources used in the studies. The issue of privacy will adhere to free protecting the identity of individual people who are mentioned in the content pieces, and other ethical issues with avoiding deception in connecting and presenting the research findings. Care was taken to avoid presenting information that might be ignorant of the condition facing Black Australians or presenting the information in a way that could be offensive to them. This measure is important in avoiding the existing frames of society. And here's my all references for the research project. And here's my final media influence project. And thank you for listening.